Before we start the video, I'm going to take some time to talk about caves, since they serve as an important mechanic in the game. Caves are where you are going to find the majority of treasure in the game. However, the underground enemies are much more dangerous than those encountered on the surface. Under the name of the cave, you will see 4 circles, each representing a different hazard: fire, water, electricity, and poison. The left number under the text indicates how many Pikmin are currently with your active captain, while the number on the right tells you how many Pikmin are currently in the field. Be warned, when entering a cave, only the Pikmin following the active captain will enter. Any Pikmin left behind will automatically enter the onion. As a general rule of thumb, I will explore caves in separate videos because they can be quite long. Before I explore each cave, I will put up one of these graphics to show you what hazards are in the cave, how many treasures and sublevels there are, and 2 Pikmin recommendations, one from Prima Guides and my own personal recommendation. Now, getting into the actual cave itself, Emergence Cave is unquestionably the easiest cave in the game. It only has 2 sublevels, no hazards, and no boss. It essentially serves as a tutorial as to how caves function. Prima Guides recommends taking 50 red Pikmin, but I recommend taking all that you have. But honestly, it really doesn't make a difference. Here we go in the Emergence Cave, Sublevel 1, our first spelunking expedition. These are exciting times indeed. But the ship has something to say. Intriguing! My heat sensors indicate that this hole's interior is warmer than on the surface. Analysis suggests subterranean areas may support different life forms than the surface. If you wish to check underground terrain, press the Start/Pause button to communicate with me. I am not just a ship. I am an all-purpose support pod. I hope you don't expect us to call you that from now on, because the ship is much easier to say. As you can see, there is a treasure right in front of us. It's a giant tangerine! How lovely! This does remind me, I have been trying to incorporate fruit in my diet for the past month or so, and I have to say, I felt a lot better ever since I started doing that. I honestly don't know why I didn't do it earlier, but I just feel a lot better about myself, and I've lost some weight, so I'm pretty proud of that. This is the citrus lump, worth 180 Pokos. Not bad at all. But in order to get to the next treasure, we'll have to get past these guys first. These are Snow Bulborbs. Snow Bulborbs are pretty much palette swaps of dwarf red Bulborbs, and are just as easily defeated. They're really nothing to be afraid of. However, like the dwarf red Bulborbs, they also have a larger counterpart. But we won't be encountering them for quite a while. Not in this cave, at least. Alright, now that the last Snow Bulborb has been defeated, let's grab a bottle cap. It should be worth mentioning that you can bring enemies back to the pod, and I will do so for demonstration purposes. However, the critters aren't worth much, and it's generally not something that you should rely on. Yes, they are worth a small amount of money, but there's no method faster than to continuously recover treasure in order to reach our 10,000 Poco target. This is the Quenching Emblem, and this is one of many treasures worth 100 Pokos. We're going to be seeing a lot of those, trust me. And now for the elephant in the room, recovering an enemy. How can you possibly consider this beast a treasure? Beasts are incompatible with my circuitry. I suppose I will store your finds in my hold. But I do not think beasts will be worth much. Indeed, that Snow Bulborb was only worth 2 Pokos. So as the ship said, it's generally not in your best interest to try and salvage them. Anywho, we are done here, so let's approach the next hole. This hole appears to be quite deep. My sensors indicate more treacherous terrain ahead. Louie, you do recall that you can adjust the camera with the L, R, and Z buttons, correct? Your expression suggests you do. Excellent! Then approach the hole and press the A button to enter it. So, enter it we shall! Time to delve into the further recesses of the Emergence Cave. By the way, every time you enter a new sub-level, your game will automatically save. So now we have the Emergence Cave, sub-level 2. It's also really convenient if you end up getting a layout that you're not comfortable with. You can quickly reset it to get a different one. But that's not important. Final floor. The final sub-level usually contains a boss, but the Emergence Cave is the exception to that rule. Instead, we just have to fight more Snow Bulborbs. I guess that's to be expected since this is essentially a tutorial on how caves work. We don't want to bring back the Snow Bulborbs. Instead, we want to bring back this beauty. It's inconceivable that such an immense object has been buried here for so long. The design on the outer shell resembles the surface of the planet as seen from space. Perhaps this can be used for something other than salvage. But how will we ever lift it? I fear that even 100 red Pikmin will be unable to lift it. Indeed, if we try to pick it up, we can see that it has a weight of 101. And since we can't exceed 100 Pikmin on the field, how are we going to lift this? The answer lies ahead. No, not with these Snow Bulborbs. Oh, and Louie actually took some damage right there. As I was saying, the secret to lifting the globe lies ahead. And just like with Dwarf Red Bulborbs, if you throw Pikmin directly on top of a Snow Bulborb, they'll get KO'd instantly. Alright, just one left. And there we have it. Now, on the other side of the room lies something very, very special. Astounding! A flower blooms in a cave deep beneath the snowy landscape. Clearly, it is warmer down here than above. Look, the Pikmin are restless. They look as if they yearn to be tossed into the flower. If you have played the first Pikmin game, you know what this is. It's a candy pop bud. Candy pop buds are large flowers, and when Pikmin are thrown into them, they will spit out new Pikmin seeds which match the color of their petals. These particular candy pop buds are violet candy pop buds, and they didn't appear in the first game. And since they are purple in color, that means amazing! A purple Pikmin. It has hair and is quite stocky, It seems very heavy and strong. This kind of Pikmin was not mentioned in your report, Olimar. It must be an entirely new type. Transforming Pikmin by tossing them into flowers? Intriguing. Perhaps there are others? There are others indeed, but we'll talk about them later. We have discovered a new color of Pikmin. Purple Pikmin are the strongest and most durable Pikmin. They are also the heaviest color of Pikmin. Because when you throw them, if I can grab one, they will make a thud when they land. But that's not the only reason purple Pikmin are so useful. We'll soon find out when we approach that globe half. So if we grab the purple Pikmin and throw them at the globe, we can see they have 10 times the carrying capacity as the other Pikmin do. Not only that, but they weigh 10 times as much. And due to their weight, they cannot be knocked back by windy attacks. Now, you saw that they landed with a thud when I threw them. That attack can stun larger enemies, leaving them immobilized for a large period of time. And not only that, their landing can instantly kill smaller enemies such as the dwarf Bulborbs. Needless to say, these guys are really, really useful. They also have a couple of other abilities as well, abilities which we'll talk about a little bit later. But for now, we have finally retrieved the globe half. And this is a rather special treasure. It's worth 200 Pokos, and it is the Spherical Atlas. There is a device resembling a microchip embedded inside this sphere, retrieving data. Error. I could only decode a portion of the data, but I did retrieve new geographic charts. I will input this data into my planetary database and name it the Sphere Chart. Press the Start/Pause button to contact me and access the Explorer Kit on the radar screen with the L button. Now that we have this new data, you should explore the decoded territory tomorrow. Okay, here's the deal. First of all, that sound indicates we have collected all of the treasure on the current sublevel. So we are done in the Emergence Cave. I'm going to open up the Start menu for a bit, and you can take a look at the layout of the current sublevel that you're on. But if you press the L button, we can see the Exploration Kit. There are 12 treasures in the game that have a secondary function other than monetary value. In the case of the Sphere Chart, this will allow us to explore a new area tomorrow. Typically, we will find all of these treasures at the end of caves, and they are pretty useful for the most part. There is one that's not so great, but that can wait. For now, take a look. Astounding! Water is shooting out of this geyser with incredible force. Sensors indicate it has enough power to launch you into the air. Approach it and press the A button to try. It's essentially an escape ladder. And I haven't talked about this before, but the graphics in this game are really, really good, especially by GameCube standards. So since we're done in the Emergence Cave, let's return to the surface. Yeah, this cave is pretty short, but trust me when I say that the upcoming ones will be much harder and much more dangerous. Now that we've left the cave, we can take a look at the treasures we've collected. We obtained 932 Pokos worth of treasure. All 3 treasures have been collected, and we didn't lose any Pikmin. So the cave is complete. We don't have to return here ever again. So now that we've finished, we head back to the Valley of Repose, and whenever you leave a cave, you will instantly be transported back to base. With all of our troops intact, I might add, and an increased head count as well as far as the purple Pikmin are concerned. You have successfully returned to the planet's surface. Excellent decision-making, gentlemen. We must celebrate your first successful spelunking expedition. You've gathered a large amount of data that needs in-depth analysis. I shall send a report back to the President tonight detailing your progress. Olimar and Louie, since you will explore a new area tomorrow, today's work is done. What? You still want to work? Unacceptable. You may not realize it, but you are exhausted. You should take a much-needed rest, as you have all the time you need to collect treasure. Haste makes waste, so take it slow and steady. Yes! This is true. Unlike the first Pikmin game, there is no time limit. So you can take as long as you need to and work at your own pace without the worry of the clock running out. This was arguably the most welcome change in Pikmin 2, and yeah, the time limit was kind of brought back in Pikmin 3 in a way, but that's just how the fruit mechanics worked. Alright, taking a look at today's report. We have collected 652 Pokos worth of treasure, bringing our total up to 932. Very nice. Not only that, but we increased our red ranks and added purples to our army. And as you can see, no deaths whatsoever. I can't guarantee that this will be a 0-death run, but I'm going to try and complete this game with as little casualties as possible, but no guarantees. Baby steps first, Olimar. Plan well and don't worry about me. Our debt is with Happy Hocotate Savings and Loan, after all. Besides, there's nothing left to repossess, so ha! And that's really sad when you think about it. We've saved our progress, collected some treasures, and now we've unlocked a new area. But let's take a quick look at the Picklepedia. Alright, so we can take a look at the Violet Candy Pop Bud, since it was the most important thing we discovered. Violet Candy Pop Bud, Flora Puniceus, Candy Pop family. Research from our most recent expedition has confirmed the presence of candy pop buds in subterranean regions. Considering the microecologies this plant has been found in, one could surmise that it could be found in any cavern regardless of geographic region. Tossing Pikmin into this flower results in the release of purple Pikmin seeds, regardless of the color of the Pikmin tossed in. This variety of candy pop contains robustly odoriferous oils. If candy pop flowers could be cultivated, there is no doubt that the plants would offer multifaceted benefits to the cosmetic, medical, and tourist industries. And I also registered the foxtail in my Piclopedia. Whenever you want to register plants in the Piclopedia, you need to brush up against them. And I'm curious to see what Louie's notes on this are. Inedible. Plagues victims with potent, debilitating cramps. That's great. His entries on the inedible creatures and plants are really funny for the most part. So let's take a look at the treasure we discovered. Let's take a look at the utter scrap. The area we recently touched down in is blanketed with a fresh layer of frozen precipitation. As tranquil and relaxing as it is, I named it the Valley of Repose. Using Pikmin to move obstacles, I was able to open up some new areas to exploration, where I found this hunk of metal. Let's also take a look at the Spherical Atlas. The purple Pikmin were somehow able to carry this massive treasure. Today we measured their physical strength using the ship's onboard beefometer. It seems that they have 10 times the weight and physical power of any other Pikmin. When I throw them, they land with a resounding thud. I've decided to commemorate the cave I first encountered them in by naming it Emergence Cave. So, our treasure hoard is small for the most part, but that will change. And it's going to change in the next video when we explore the Awakening Wood. See you guys next time.